All right, so you can still do this by long division. You can still do this with your calculator, which again, I'd encourage you to do. I just want you to have seen what synthetic division involves. Okay, so synthetic division is just a shortcut way of doing long division by working just with the coefficients and not with any of the powers. So the way that you start is in this spot right here, you're going to place the number that would give you a 0 for your factor. So the factor that you're dividing by is x minus 3. What number corresponds to that 0? What value of x makes this a 0? 3. So that's what you'll start with, is a 3 in this spot. And then again, this is kind of an upside down division symbol. And what you're then going to do is you're just going to list your coefficients, starting with the highest power. So my coefficient for my x cubes, 1. What about my x squareds? Then you're going to reduce the power 1 each time. Are there any x squareds? No, so you have to put a 0 for that coefficient. And then my x's have a coefficient of -10, and my constants have a coefficient of -24. One of the biggest mistakes on this, if you're using synthetic division when you set it up, is to forget to include zeros if it's missing a term. And so be careful on that if you ever do this by hand. Okay. Now, the rest of the synthetic division process is pretty similar to what you've done in long division. Okay. We're simply going to we're going to combine down our columns, and then we're going to distribute that new result back to the original number we divided by. And so if we combine our columns straight down, we get a 1, and then we distribute that. So 1 times 3 is 3. We're going to write that into the next column. Now we're going to add down the column. So 0 plus 3 is 3. Multiply here. 3 times 3 is 9. Combine down. -1. Multiply. -3. And then combine down one last time. -27. And once you get these are your coefficients. Since we divided by a linear factor, we're going to reduce each of the powers by 1, just whatever the power was here. And so this becomes an x squared, this becomes plus 3x and a -1, and this is our remainder, -27, and we're just going to write that over what we started out with. Okay, so here is our answer, plus, okay. Again, if you're doing this using your calculator, you'll see the same thing happen. If you use expand, go ahead and straight up divide these. X cubed minus 10x minus 24. That entire quantity divided by the expression x minus 3. Close that off, and when you do, you see it's the same thing. So x squared plus 3x minus 1. X squared plus 3x minus 1. Plus, and then our fraction is just a -27 over x minus 3. And so it confirms what we did in that respect.